competitiveness, reduce unemployment, increase startup formation, stronger economic resilience. The relation can also be expressed through indigenous growth theory, where innovation and technological advancement become central drivers of economic expansion. For Nigeria to be global competitive SMEs, innovation must become national development priority rather than an optional policy discussion. We must be deliberate about it. We must be ready to change our ways, our outlook about the university's research and the industries. The government must deliberately glue the universities to industries. This relationship can also be expressed through indigenous growth theory, where innovation and technological advancement become central drivers of economic expansion. For Nigeria to build globally competitive SMEs, innovation must become national development priority rather than optional. Distinguished participants, it is important to emphasize that innovation must align with sustainable development principles. The future of industrialization globally is increasingly tied to green innovation, renewable energy, circular economy systems, climate-smart agriculture, sustainable manufacturing, and of course, environmental responsibility. These align directly with the United Nations SDGs, particularly SDG 4, 8, and 9. SDG 4 has to do with quality education, 8, decent work and economic growth, while SDG 9 emphasizes industrial innovation and infrastructure. Nigeria's innovation policies must therefore pursue not only economic growth, but also environmental sustainability and inclusive development. Universities and SMEs can collaborate in the following areas and many more. Solar power technologies. Solar power. We can decide to, okay, University of Ilorin wants to go directly to solar. We want to power a particular community so that government will see that we can do it. The moment it is achieved and success is achieved, naturally government must recognize the University of Ilorin. But the fear of doing it, the fear of taking the lead, the fear of the unknown is the issue. Smart agricultural systems, like the University of Agriculture. How many of them are going to smart farming? Waste to energy solutions. There are so many waste generated in so many communities. How do we convert the waste to wealth? Eco-friendly manufacturing processes, sustainable transportation innovations. As I was entering the University of Ilorin this morning, and I saw the innovation, so to say, though not production we cannot regard it as manufacturing. There is an innovation that has been introduced to transportation in and out of the campus of the University of Ilorin. Can we clap for the university? Let's appreciate the university. This is essentially insecurity, energy transition, and environmental degradation increasingly shape global economic realities. As the renowned management scholar Peter Dorcas once said, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence itself, but to act with yesterday's logic. If there is a turbulence, the problem is not the turbulence, but the logic we want to adopt to get out of the turbulence. Is it the logic of yesterday, or are we thinking of today and tomorrow? Nigeria cannot solve tomorrow's economic challenges using yesterday's industrial models. We must build an economy driven by science, innovation, sustainability, entrepreneurship, and technological excellence. It is therefore imperative, and I underline this, it is imperative that the Nigerian universities must reposition themselves as active drivers of innovation, enterprise development, and SME transformation. Nigerian universities must evolve beyond traditional teaching into innovation enterprise development centers. We must focus on SME innovation laboratories. SME innovation laboratories, where we will have SMEs, promoters of SMEs, all seated to see what we are doing. Technological incubation hubs, entrepreneurship accelerators, product development centers, research commercialization units, digital fabrication laboratories, artificial research should work directly with MSMEs to solve practical industrial challenges. I've been told I have 6 more minutes. Yes, SMEs must innovate. SMEs must look at technology. And in doing that, there must be a synergy between the universities and the SMEs. And it must be deliberate. Government policies should back it up. Then we must look at the youth. Through SMEs, our teeming youth will get job. There will be job creation, there will be poverty reduction, there will be wealth creation, there will be social stability, and there will be economic inclusion. According to the African Development Bank, every year millions of young Africans enter the labor market, but only innovation-led industrial growth can absorb this expanding workforce. In this wise, we must look at digital innovation for SMEs. Small businesses should access funding. There must be farmers, there must be technological innovation into farming to make our farming more effective these days. I don't know, I've not seen it. Universities developing what the oil palm farmers can use to climb their own palm trees, to cut down the palm fronds. Today we have so many Nigerians that have died, falling down from the top of the oil palm trees while trying to harvest the palm fronds. And we can do that. We can solve the problem. The role of government should lower interest on innovation. There must be loan for innovation. startup grants. Anybody wants to establish SMEs should be given loan. Even innovations, research findings should be funded. Tax incentives, intellectual property protection, research industry funding must be encouraged. Yes, there must be national innovation centers. This will encourage critical thinking, scientific curiosity, entrepreneurial courage, building up, research excellence, and it will solve many of our problems. Importance of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, according to Steve Jobs, will facilitate innovation, which will distinguish between a leader and follower. And in so doing, according to him, an entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff. You will see. You're welcome. Who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on his way down. Once there is a problem, the problem must provide for an answer. An entrepreneur should solve a problem. You should not go in there because people are doing it. Like so many universities are now producing photo water because others are producing. Is that the job of a university? To produce photo water? Universities must become breeding grounds for innovation, creators of jobs. Universities must build global partnerships, international collaboration, and ensure that innovation is encouraged. Nigerian universities should strengthen partnerships with international universities, research institutes, multinational industries, as well as local industries, global development agencies, upcoming local industries. Such collaboration would improve and facilitate knowledge exchange, research quality, funding opportunities, technological transfer, and will enhance global competitiveness. We must imagine Nigeria, where universities drive industrial production, where universities facilitate research that generates billion-dollar innovations, where students create global startups, where industries depend on global technologies, where Nigerian patents compete globally, where youth unemployment drastically reduces, where local manufacturing expands and satisfies Nigerian needs, where Nigeria becomes Africa's innovation hub. I'd like to use this occasion to make a call for action. I said the world is moving towards innovation, technological thinking. Not the old school that we were in those days. To the university, I challenge you to audit your faculty research. How many patents are gathering dust?